Great to be speaking to you. And
I'm here. Thank you for taking the time.
Now, you just completed the deal on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Tell me what kind of a deal? This is on the Toronto Venture Stock Exchange.
That's correct. So we are a Bitcoin miner. We started mining Bitcoin in Quebec in 2017. We've been mining Bitcoin since then and Ethereum since 2020, 2021. And in March of this year, we decided to become a public listed company because we wanted to be able to raise more cash and to develop faster our operations. So we did an RTO, which is basically called a CPC. There are types of company who are already listed on the TSXV. We merged with them in a specific operation. It's a 3 amalgamation operation. The reason of the operation was for us to be listed on the public market. So we just announced that the deal was closed last Tuesday. And now we are waiting for the approval, the last approval from the stock market that will put our stock to be listed on the market, and it will be on or about September 14th.
Okay.
So at this time, people will be able to buy us on the stock market, and we will be trading with the ticker SATO, which is an homage to Satoshi Nakamoto, as you can understand.
Right. Yes.
We were very happy to get granted this sticker because we think it shows well who we are, what is the origin of our business, and where we want to go in the next 10 years.
So in this deal, you raised just over $4 million US.
That's correct. So the structure of the deal that we did was to do a solution where CCU, which was the original company I was a co-founder with, we merged with a CPC, and at the same time we did a deal where public people were able to invest in a private round. So at the time of structuration of the deal, we raised around $4.3 million.
Right.
We were oversubscribed by 1 million. Originally, we wanted to raise only 3 million, but we received so much demand that we decided to increase a little bit the amount of money we raised. And it was in a way some kind of a condition for the listing to be happening. Because the stock market wanted to see that as a company, we have interest from investors for valuations that we were proposing on the market. So we structured the deal to make it so that we would be fast at being listed on the TSXV, finding a share that would make a deal with us at the right condition. Then we added 10% for this private round, and now everything is finished, everything is closed. We got the closing happening on Tuesday, and now we're waiting for the final approval.
So 10% of total share went to public, raised 4.3 million, right? And one of your strategic backers or investors is a True Global Ventures, and they have about 10% stake.
That's correct. So True Global Venture and Dusan, they were very keen in working with us. They have been extremely great partners. They are part of this private round. So this private round that we did where we raised $4.3 million, TGV took a big chunk of it. And that's how they acquired a little bit more than 10% of the company during that round. And it was like an absolute pleasure to work with them because they are super fast. They understand the business very well. We have lots of synergies between what they do with NFT and what we do with mining. We are very much focused on green mining energy, which is also something very important for them. So it's totally well aligned, and the partnership has been working very great so far.
It is a very high energy consuming endeavor. So you have access to 20 megawatts of hydro electricity, right? And you're looking to expand it to over 500 megawatts.
Exactly. We have a contract for 20 megawatts of energy with the city of Joliette, which is provided by Hydro-Québec, which is the energy provider. The energy is 100% renewable. The grid in Quebec is 92% hydro electricity, and the rest is wind and solar. So we are not producing any GHG gas, almost no carbon emission. And it's an important point for us because, as you know, environment is an important subject today in today's world, and we want to make sure that we miners are doing it the right way. The thing that is important to know and to keep in mind is that people are always pointing Bitcoin as a energy resource industry. But when you look at the numbers precisely, Bitcoin mining is less than 1% of the total consumption energy from the world. So it's really nothing in comparison to what the world is using. So I'm totally for solving environmental problem, but solving Bitcoin is not going to solve anything at first. However, for us miners, it's important to do it in a green way using renewable energy. So today we have this contract of energy and we are only focusing on this. This is our main focus. But of course, as you can imagine, like other miners who are also listed or not, we have other ways to expand, whether in our center or in other centers in Quebec or in Canada or everywhere in the world. So the reason why we are getting listed is also because we want to be able to raise more money to develop more centers. And we want to grow our megawatt, and more importantly, we want to grow what we call our petahash, which is our mining power. Today, we have an equivalent of 150 petahash of mining power. With our electrical contract of 20 megawatt, we could reach an equivalent of 600 petahash of mining power. But obviously, we want to grow over that, and we want to do better than that in the coming years. But we have a long-term vision. I know every entrepreneur in the world will tell you they have a long-term vision. But we're really building with the next halving and the next halving coming.
When you started in 2017, you have a contract to build up to 20 megawatts. By when would you reach 20 megawatts? So 2017, you started with, you mentioned 7.5, then you built another 12.5.
When we started in 2017, we went very quickly to 2.5 megawatt of energy. Then over the years, we built another 5 megawatts. So that's a total of 7.5 megawatt. And it's 100% running. That's the equivalent of 150 petahash of mining power. And we are now building the remaining 12.5 megawatts that we have on our contract. And we hope to do it as fast as possible. We have ordered most of our equipment needed. As you know, there are uncertainties with delivery time. I mean, COVID makes it a little bit complicated on certain things, but we have good hope that we will be able to plug them in the coming months and in 2022 at the max.
Okay. So with the 7.5 megawatts, right, 150 petahash, right? In terms of output, how much Bitcoin does that allow you to mine with that capacity? And how much have you mined since 2017?
That's the thing I can tell you about, because now that we're a listed company, I can't tell you anything that is happening right now. I can only tell you things that happened before. But since the beginning of the company, we have mined 421 Bitcoin and around like 70 Ethereum. So it's still a small amount, but this is also why we are getting listed, because we want to go bigger and faster and be able to have more Bitcoin on our balance sheet. Because this is a real goal of the company. Of course, we are Bitcoin miners. This is our focus. This is where we are good. This is where we excel.
So
the goal is really to have Bitcoin and Ethereum and crypto in general on our balance sheet. Because we are maximalist, we believe in the coming years it's going to just continue increasing. So today we are making a Bitcoin in 2020. We were making a Bitcoin on an average of $12,000 all in, electricity, miners, amortization, and operations, and all the OPEX. So it's a good way to make Bitcoin on your balance sheet, because you buy Bitcoin for less than what you were supposed to buy them on the market.
On the market,
so
it costs 40,000 now.
50,000, 40, 50, and we think it's only gonna go up anyway in the coming years. We have again this 10 years vision, and that's why we want to get access to the public market to raise money, so that we will hold or hodl, to use the term used in crypto, our Bitcoin and our crypto even more, because so far we've been using some of our Bitcoin to grow. And we don't want to do that. We want to stop doing this.
Yep.
And we want to hold our currency and
Yep.
have more cryptocurrency on our balance sheet, so that we can follow the path of other companies such as MicroStrategy, Tesla, SpaceX, and other companies who are more and more putting Bitcoins on their balance sheet the same way they would do with a building or with gold or with silver.
Right.
I think this is a smart way to play for most of the company, and we are extremely well placed to do that because we can make Bitcoin for cheap.
My question is in terms of the longer term prospect for green mining with more similar companies setting up with the hard limit. How is the prospect? Yep. The only thing that is very positive is the value and the adoption of cryptocurrency, right? But in terms of the supply of cryptocurrency, there's a hard limit.
The supply is going to be even more, or the market is going to go even more into using green energy. Actually, the Bitcoin Mining Council that was that published the first study last quarter. We are going to publish another story very soon. It's the Bitcoin Mining Council is an organization of the biggest miners in the US, mainly in North America, also in Europe and in Asia to some extent. And in the first study, we showed that more than 56% of the miners are already using renewable energy. And I think it's only going to go up in the coming months and years. Why? Because this is inevitable, and this is the cheapest way for us to be able to mine. And as you know, 80% of our cost is mainly electricity. Electricity, by the way, the usage of electricity or power is a feature. It's not a bug. This is what secures our money. This is what secures Bitcoin. It has been more than 10 years of a solution, of a system that is working with no issues, nothing has been stolen. It's working extremely well. And if you compare with other industries, like for example, the financial system, the Bitcoin energy is really using nothing in comparison to that. So if we were using, if we had to choose between two solutions, one is the old financial system and one is the new crypto blockchain Bitcoin, it would be a better and a smarter way to go and choose Bitcoin, because the energy usage, yes, it's a lot, but it's a security feature, and it's using way less energy than the old system. So I think more and more miners will go into that direction. It's already the case. We are already seeing it. It's increasing everywhere in the world. And people are getting more into renewable, and it's also for a reason of price, because most of the time renewable is less expensive than oil.
Now, the other question I want to ask you, it's about Bitcoin itself. Bitcoin is a great store of value, right? So it's appreciating in price. It's hitting 60 over 1,000. It's come down somewhat. Now, there are some governments that want to use it as a medium of exchange. They make it legal tender. That drives down the price, doesn't it? I mean, the demand will be great, right? So how do you square with all this development?
I think it's an amazing development. I mean, what is happening right now in San Salvador is really super interesting. I mean, as you have seen yesterday, people were able to buy a Starbucks or McDonald's with Bitcoin. And basically,
is that the right thing to do? You are using an asset to buy a coffee.
Let me tell you why it's totally the right thing to do, because this is the beauty of Bitcoin. We are developing a layer 2. I mean, not we CCU, but the industry and the developers and the amazing community of developers developing under Bitcoin has been started to develop what we call the Lightning Network. And the Lightning Network is really interesting. It's a layer 2 of the Bitcoin blockchain. And when you do that, you can start doing like very fast transaction with almost no cost. But what is more important and interesting is that when you start doing using the Lightning Network and using sats, as you know, there are 100 million Satoshis in one Bitcoin. So it means that we have virtually a coin. The sats are infinite. I mean, multiply 21 million by 100 million, it will give you a number that even your calculator won't be able to do. So when you start using the Lightning Network and use your sats in a circular economy, it's really interesting because you're not using your Bitcoin to buy pizza like 10 years ago. I mean, you remember the 10,000 Bitcoin used to buy 2 pizza. When you look at it today, you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
what is it? But with Lightning Network and the fact that you can do microtransactions very fast at almost no cost, and when you enter in a circular economy, you don't use your Bitcoin because you use them, but you also receive them, because some people will use, some other will receive. At the end, it's just a way to exchange value with something that costs absolutely nothing to do, because the Lightning Network, you have very, very small transaction fee. We're talking about like 1 or 2 sats on transaction fees, and it's extremely fast. So it's actually, I think it's a perfect solution and situation. I believe it's going to be the key development on top of Bitcoin in the coming months and in the coming years. We want to be at the forefront of it. We are already looking at it, because for us as miners, it's also a way to captivate some kind of the transaction. Even if you have small transaction, it's going to be lots of transactions, and we believe it's going to be a big part of our business. So I'm really, really excited with this kind of usage. What's happening in San Salvador is starting, and I think we're going to see that everywhere in the world very, very quickly, very fast, because your Satoshis, you will be able to exchange them in a circular economy. So you are using them, receiving them, using them, receiving them, and at the end you have a balance, but it will be indexed in a way on something that has extremely high value, which is the Bitcoin. So I'm really bullish about this, and I will be the first to put more of my Bitcoin into that circular economy.
Okay, and it's a fairly small economy, right? El Salvador, I mean, I can't imagine a bigger economy. Even if it's a circular economy, yeah, I mean, it will kind of drive down the value.
It's true, but they have also done this, for a part of the business that we call remittance, which is when people are sending, like from the US, people are sending money to people who are living back in the country. And until today, I mean, people were forced to use solutions like all solutions, like Western Union. And unfortunately, the solutions they are charging you even more if you are poor. So it costs a lot of money to send your money outside of where you are, and it's lots of difficulties and issues. Bitcoin and Lightning Network is solving this. So Salvador is the first country to do it, but I'm sure, and I'm sure, of course, I could be wrong, but I'm sure we're going to see more and more countries going that direction.
Thank you so much, Romain, for your time.
Have a good evening.
Yeah,
take care.
great.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.